Welcome to episode 80 of The Place of Sound. I'm your host, Natalie Hall. The Place of Sound is a show that explores the theme of space, or social geography, using sound and listening. This is done through a variety of audio media production formats, so you can expect to do a few different types of listening in a single show. Episodes consist of what we refer to as audio portraits, or oral history-style interviews that explore topics of home, soundscape compositions, which use everyday sounds to communicate the personal and social significance of a given place, and we typically end the episode with a short documentary-style piece that explores the place-based identity of the producer. The aim with these projects is to allow the producer to think about the places that made them who they are today. These are the types of projects you can expect to hear on The Place of Sound, and all of them are produced by students here at Carleton University. They're what gets produced in Comms 4501 Digital Media Production, a fourth-year workshop course in the Communications and Media Studies program. In this episode, we're going to do something a little different. This episode is part 2 of 3 in a series of retrospective listens to the student work that's been aired on The Place of Sound in 2024. In part 1, episode 79, we listened back to a series of audio portraits. These are short 2 to 3 minute stories on the topic of home, and in total, we listened to 4 of them. In this episode, we'll focus on the soundscape composition, a genre of audio media production to communicate a particular story about a given place. Soundscape compositions consist of a combination of field recordings and voice, and these two elements are combined to tell a story about a place that's meaningful to the producer. Students are encouraged to think with and through their microphone. They'll move it through the space as though it is their ear, and with it they can capture some of the small, tiny sounds that we might otherwise miss. And of course, they also capture some of the louder sounds, the ones that are hard to overlook. The voice you'll hear is the narrator or the producer who invites us into the space and guides us through it. Their aim is to find the right rhythm, to speak when we, the listener, need to know more about where we are and what we're hearing, but also to remain silent at times and to let the sounds do the talking. By the end of the piece, we should have a sense of where the place is, how it is brought to life in sound, and most important, why the space itself is meaningful to the producer, to others, or to both. This is how we're thinking of soundscape composition. So in this episode, we'll feature some of the soundscape compositions that aired on The Place of Sound in 2024. We'll listen to 4 of them in total, and they are the following: Turnball, Ripples of Resilience, Navigating the Inner Tides. Aidan Donnely, Inside an Anxious Mind. Nevins, Mindful Steps Through Nature. And Jason Scott, The Last Day of Tryouts. Each student will jump in to offer a quick introduction to their piece before we listen to it, to give a sense of whose voice you'll be hearing and what the conversation will be about. So without further ado, from episode 60, here is Ripples of Resilience, Navigating the Inner Tides. Lucas brings us on a journey, reconnecting with his sport after quitting Team Canada.
Hi, my name is Lucas Turnball, and this is my soundscape composition of Mooney's Bay, Ottawa, Ontario. In this soundscape composition, I delve into a deeply personal exploration of my relationship with water. Throughout my life, water has been a source of calm and familiarity, a place where I've always felt at home. However, during my time on Team Canada, this connection took an unexpected turn. In this composition, I invite you to join me on a journey through the soundscape of my experiences on the water and how sport changed that. It's that time of year when the seasons change. I haven't picked up a paddle since I quit Team Canada. It's time to revisit this space and see how it makes me feel. As the gentle ripples of the water caress the shore, a tranquil melody begins to unfold. Soft, soothing tones mirror the peaceful rhythm of each stroke against the water. The paddle moves effortlessly, creating a symphony of calmness that envelops the listener in a serene embrace. I always grew up around water. It's made me feel calm and safe. And when I was on the water, I kind of felt like I was at home. Water's always calmed me. It makes me feel weightless, like all my problems are gone, and it's just me and my thoughts. Let me slow it down for a minute. Focus in on the smallest little details. The rippling of the water, the calmness of the birds. Even though this place has filled me with calmness and tranquility, that would soon take a drastic change. Paddling as a sport changed this feeling and replaced it with fear, anxiety, and stress of maintaining my position on Team Canada, getting faster, winning races, and going to the Olympics.
From Canada, Lucas Turnball.
Lane 4, Lucas Turnball started well.
Good speed. Turnball has
Here
the
is the
lead.
Canadian.
Now Circa is trying to move closer to the others, but now he's fighting for the podium. Canadian gold.
See, this is why you can't miss practice. Are you proud of win? Are you proud of win? Why weren't you faster? What was my catch? Did I do good? No, it's not a no. It's satisfied. Was I satisfied? Was I better than last time? It's almost been 4 years now. And it's funny because now that I'm here, I don't associate being around water with those negative feelings. All I remember are the good times. feeling calm, being with friends on the water, accomplishments. It seems like things have come full circle.
Thank you so much, Lucas. The sounds of water captured in this piece were really, truly lovely, and I think it captured the kind of anxiety of sport and competition, especially when you've been away from that space for a while. Next up, from episode 61, we'll hear Inside an Anxious Mind. Aidan takes us through a daily routine dealing with anxiety. Take it away, Aidan.
Hi there, listeners. My name is Aidan Donnely, and I'm in my 4th year of the Honors Communications and Media Studies program at Carleton University. In this soundscape composition, you will hear about my personal journey of anxiety, the sounds, spaces, and places that define my experience and illustrate the beautifully complex world of anxiety. My goal for this composition was to immerse listeners in the world of a restless mind, creating an illusion of unease through the power of sound. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy it. I try to follow a strict routine. I wake up, I take my medication, I sip on the coffee that my doctor warns me about, and I go for a run. When I get home, I shower and start my day. I appreciate routine, a plan, organization. It's all part of the territory. I am acutely aware of the sounds that surround me. The way notifications send a shiver to the pit of my stomach, and how the sound of fidgeting hands sends me into enough discomfort that I can almost muster the courage to ask them to stop. But the truth is, silence. Silence is the loudest of it all. My ultimate enemy.
Thank you so much for that. I feel like this piece encapsulated a mood and tension right from the beginning and completely in sound. Both the narration and the sound worked together so well, and that's what the soundscape composition really is all about. Now, from episode 62, Mindful Steps Through Nature. In this soundscape composition, Grace brings us on a scenic walk around Piney's Point, gathering nature solely in sound.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace Nevins, and this is my soundscape composition called Mindful Steps Through Nature. Throughout this audio recording, I find myself at a historical site called Piney's Point. It's just in Dunrobin, a little outside of Ottawa, and it's this really beautiful area. It's a historical place where there's a lot of beautiful architecture, some old churches, some old horse stables, and it's a lovely place. During this time of year, there's no tours going on or anything, so I found myself there just going on a nature walk for some peace and quiet, and I noticed how intense the animals were in preparation for the winter time, as well as listening to just the sounds of the leaves and the water splashing as the wind blew colder. So I really hope you enjoy. It's a really beautiful place. Mindfulness, defined as the quality or state of being conscious and aware of something. Today, that something is nature. I would like you to come with me on my journey of focusing on the present moment as I take you to one of my most loved places, a place that brings me calmness, allows me to accept my feelings, and sit in my thoughts. Piney's Point. You may assume that this is a quiet place, a place of silence and relaxation. However, open your mind and listen. I am certainly not alone. The sounds coming from inside the trees. A whole world of life and routine is present around me. A calmly nature to me is a chipmunk, scrambling, nibbling on his treasured find. As we continue on the path, more activity arises. The busy state of the animals preparing for the winter intensifies. The earth has also begun to mimic sounds of preparation, the brisk wind blowing over the flow of the river, causing the water to jump over the rocks. I resonate with the water. The increasingly intense flow reminds me of why I'm here. Breathe. Take a moment and feel. As they say, the earth has music for those who listen.
Thank you, Grace. I think a sound walk through nature is how many people are introduced to the concept of field recordings, and this was a great example of how to do that and how it can be really effective. And lastly, we have the last day of tryouts from episode 65. Jason gives us a piece that combines the pressure of sport and the sounds of daily routine.
Hello, my name is Jason Scott. I'm a fourth-year Communication and Media Studies student at Carleton University. In this soundscape composition, I invite you to step into the world of hockey tryouts and immerse yourself in the jitters, tension, and eager anticipation that accompany this experience. As you might assume, the pinnacle of my anxiety was on the last day of tryouts. I was so close to making the team, I could practically taste it. Yet, a letter bearing the words, "Thank you for your participation in this year's Silver 7 AA tryouts, however," had the power to break my heart instantly. Join me on this journey and listen to the mounting anticipation, nausea, and nervousness that dominate throughout this story. Final round of AA hockey tryouts. I've worked so hard to get here, and I deserve to be on this team. At this time of year, in early September, the rink is a tension-filled space for me. So much so that its tension can be felt from my home and the car ride there. After waking up at 8 a.m. sharp, I head to the bathroom, still half asleep. As soon as the vibration from my electric toothbrush hits my teeth, it jolts me awake. The nerves begin racing through my body. This is it. I have to leave everything I have out on the ice today. The thought of eating makes me feel like I'm going to be sick. But not eating means less energy, which puts me at a disadvantage on the ice. So I head down to the kitchen. I chew slowly as I force Cheerios down my throat while my stomach begs me not to. I get half the bowl down and take that as a win. Besides, it's now time to head downstairs and begin warming up by stick handling and shooting some pucks. Now that I feel loose and warmed up, it's time to pack my hockey bag. All set, time to go. As my dad begins driving us to the arena, I play my music through the car speakers to get into the zone.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already.
And just like that, we're here. My stomach drops to the pavement when I step out of the car. Time to head inside. I make my way through the crowded lobby and head to the change room. I lace up my skates, put my equipment on, and head out onto the ice. As always, once I'm out there, I'm so focused that my nerves quickly dissipate. After every one of my shifts, I'm completely gassed. And just like that, tryouts are over and I know that I've done everything I could. All that's left to do is sit anxiously to find out if I made the team.
A huge thank you to Lucas, Aidan, Grace, and Jason for these great soundscape compositions. Next episode, we'll be running through our favorite audio docs to carry on this 2024 retrospective. If you want to keep up with The Place of Sound, you can find us on Instagram at The Place of Sound or visit theplaceofsound.ca. As always, thank you for tuning in and happy listening.